Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brother and sister, and welcome to episode 25 from reading from Riyad Ul-Saliheen. And I chose this chapter today, the weeping out of fear and love of Allah, out of fear and love of Allah Ta'ala. Allah said in the Quran, وَيَخْرُونَ الْأَذْقَانِ يَبْكُونَ وَيَزِيدُهُمْ خُشُوعًا, and they fall down on their faces weeping when the Quran recites on them, and increase their khushu', their humiliation. And that's in Surah Al-Isra. And in Surah Al-Najm, فَمِنْ هَذَا الْحَدِيثِ تَعْجَبُونَ وَتَضْحَكُونَ وَلَا تَبْكُونَ. And from this recitation, you wonder, and you laugh, and you don't cry. And that's in Surah Al-Najm. And there is a hadith from our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Anas radiyallahu anhu, one of the companions, said, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave a speech khutbah. I didn't hear like it before. He said, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the khutbah, he said, if you knew what I know, you will laugh a little. لَضَحَكْتُمْ قَلِيلًا. You will laugh little and weep much. وَلَبَكَيْتُمْ كَثِيرًا. So the Sahaba, after this, they covered their face and started crying, weeping with sobs. It means they're weeping with slight noise. And there is another hadith of dear brother and sister, which is a famous hadith. The hadith of the سَبْعَةٌ يَظُلُّهُمُ اللَّهُ فِي ظِلِّهِ. Seven people, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in authentic hadith, Bukhari and Muslim. He said, there are 7 people, سَبْعَةٌ يُظُلُّهُمُ اللَّهُ فِي ظِلِّهِ يَوْمَ لَا ظِلَّ إِلَّا ظِلَّهُ. 7 people, Allah will give them the shade on the day of judgment, where there's no shade except the shade of Allah. The first one, Imamun Adil, just ruler. That's the first one. Second one, Shabun Nasha fi ta'atillah, a young or a youth which grew up with worship of Allah, obedient to Allah. A youth grew up obedient to Allah. Brothers, it doesn't fair to be equal that a youth, teenage or youth, young man, with all his power, all his desire, spend his time with obedient to Allah. He didn't cross the red lines. Will be equal to the one who follow his desires when he was young and then do tawbah later. Yes, inshallah, both will go to Jannah. But the level in the Jannah will be different. And this man, this young man, this youth, who control his desire out of fear and love of Allah, Allah will give him this special status on the day of judgment. Give him the special shade. The third one, رَجُلْ قَلْبُ مُعَلَّقُ الْمَسَاجِدِ, a man whose heart is attached to the mosque. The fourth one, 2 people. They get together for the love of Allah and they depart for the love of Allah. And the fifth one, a man, a wealthy, beautiful man, called him to do zina. And he said, I fear Allah. He only didn't do that because he feared of Allah. And the other one, the sixth one, a man who gives charity, and he keep it in secret. So much so that his left hand did not know what the right hand spent. And the last one, brothers, and this is why I bring this hadith. The last one, رَجُلٌ ذَكَرَ اللَّهَ خَالِيًا فَفَاضَتْ عَيْنَهُ. A man, remember Allah in secrecy, in solitude, and he has tears, and his eyes becomes tearful. He has tears in his eyes. This brother, this man, in secrecy, remember Allah, and out of love and fear of Allah, he has some tears, even 1 or 2 tears, enough, brothers and sisters, to, inshallah, give you this status on the day of judgment, that you have been treated, you have special, you are out of the 7 people who Allah give you the shade on the day of judgment, where the sun comes so much so, and you have really sweating all over, and you don't die, but you'll suffer. And Allah give this shade for these 7 people. Inshallah, we will be one of them. Brothers, crying for the fear and love of Allah shouldn't be allowed, shouldn't be in the front of the people. Unless you cannot control yourself. It should be out of your secrecy, with sincerity, with niyyah, love and fear of Allah. May Allah make us one of these 7 people on the Day of Judgment. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.